One number 15.
Hi, I am Rachel Hope Depp, here to deliver to you my driving experience as I drive the streets of Cobleskill, New York. I picked a town at random and I see that it is morning traffic time, so I'm going to obey the speed limit and be efficient in what I am doing so that I am not a hindrance to everybody who works. I would like to remind you at this time that I attempted to write a charming little piece called Aya Does, Everybody Else Has to Work. It was really built around I'll talk like I normally do. It was really built around walking through Vale Cemetery in Schenectady, New York. I was passing by some very old grave markers, and one was out of place. Well, I immediately was offended on behalf of at least the family of this out of place, out of shape, offline marker until it read water sewer. So I made this whole story up about this simple woman who's searching for Mr. Sewer's family, and then she starts to fall in love with Mr. Sewer and starts calling herself Aya Sewer, and then she finally meets her Ayo and everything, and I don't know, it was really quite stupid. So I tore it up. No, I really just I really did think Aya meant she, and I looked it up when I finally I was operating on no real internet at the time, so I hand wrote it, um, and so I read it out loud when I was living in my apartment in Schenectady, and it was funny. But I'm telling you, I had that stuff torn up and stolen. I had it stolen, and it's because I left it at the Department of Social Services in Schenectady, and I think the security guard looked the other way while people just picked through my bag. It was just too heavy. I I was absolutely physically exhausted. I mean, if you ever if you've ever watched Navy SEALs go through their physical exercise, whether or not they make the cut or not, um, they get to a point sometimes where they're chewing on their tongue and passing out because they've been literally physically treading water for approximately, I don't know, the equivalent of days, probably treading water, because if they went overboard, they would have to survive in the ocean, treading water. And then immediately going and swimming laps. And so I was carrying over 40 pounds on my back minimum. And then I'm sure that I was medicated, whether I had any say in the matter or not. And that kind of makes you walk. But on top of that, I just didn't, during those times, I didn't have any money. I was waiting for Social Security to acknowledge that after IDs were stolen, that I am me, and then that it's okay for Bethesda House uh, to be my payee. My face looks really round, and it's not that large. I'm already starting to get pissed. I mean, the thing is, when somebody is singled out to be blocky with a mustache, you better believe these temporary powers that be are going to come against you when you suddenly lose 100 pounds and become beautiful, especially when you do it on your own. So I sit around for 3 months eating, relaxing, and I pack on the weight. But I'm strong. I have muscle underneath. And see, as I'm doing a video, there shouldn't be a square zooming in on each eye, trying to make them a different color. And, so Cynthia Sullywater and the Cochios really piggyback like a desperate, starving MRFer off of me. And so they see that I have these abilities and they want to, in between floors, I'll call it, in between floors, proceed to rob somebody like me. But see, they were premature in their robbery. I haven't gotten anything. So somebody has straight up robbed me of what I'm doing. But the thing is, my creativity is never going to stop. It's always ever flowing. My sense of humor is always there. So it's all the time. And I figured, well, I'll try to make something of it. I'll try to get an actual job. And then it becomes, no, block her. And the money to create this fake life for me is how do you compete with that, for one thing, but also how do you withstand people who have said that I look like my cousin, or he could be some kind of a half brother or very close relative, Johnny Depp, and or the fact that I know David Miscavige, and things like that they would rather do this with me because I'm an independent adult. I may have a disability, but I work around it. I always have. I've supplemented my income with face painting jobs. As an artist, I just saw that, hey, I can make a little bit on a weekend. I'll just do face painting. I'm not going to drive with somebody in my car who's going to barf or light up a joint and then ask me if it's okay to smoke in my car. So if you think that I am skipping out on jobs, I'm not. I'm skipping out on a lot of people's opportunity to make movies within a movie. Of, watch Rachel freak out here. Watch this dude. I'm gonna light up a cigarette and through my friend, and then we're gonna film that too. And here's somebody who's wanting to be an entertainer. So well, let them do their thing. I guess this is her morning Tai Chi routine. Really don't know. I mean, Cobleskill has always been a hopping town, but I didn't know they did that kind of show. No, it's a clean show. Hey, lady. They got scarecrows and stuff out to represent the autumn harvest, and having to literally scare away crows. I mean, if you guys didn't know what a scarecrow was, that is what they're all about. They're supposed to frighten away crows from the crops. So I have added a memory card to my phone, and I enjoy this, but I'm telling you, nothing puts a price on a friend, a true friend. You cannot, you can't make me happier doing this or doing that than you could giving me to my husband in the right way without giving him to my sisters first. For example, thinking that's a funny movie, but you can't replace people. And so the reason why I talk, I write, the reason why I do that is because there's nobody around, nobody next to me. I mean, if somebody and I had to do something, you wouldn't necessarily recognize me. I wouldn't be putting on a show unless something happened and I need to share it with my friends. So we sort of have always done that. Everybody kind of does that. They're out with a friend and they see something funny, so they make a joke about it. But when you're somebody like me, I have nobody standing next to me to be like, did you see that? I have nobody next to me to be like, wow, people, So I'm like, I gotta tell you something, and I get on the camera. So Schenectady's 28 miles out, and it's never been profitable for me to try to prosper in Schenectady, nor was it profitable for me to try to prosper in Albany. I've applied for jobs and I've applied for housing. I've tried really catering to the fact that I do have a disability. I've tried to work around it. People don't accept it on those days. Then they don't accept it on the days when you understand. I'm always like, if Monday is wash your car day, I missed it. So by Tuesday, I'm washing my car, and everyone's like, whoa, what are you doing? You're not supposed to wash your car today. And that's where I am every day, everywhere I go. So somebody thinks it's funny. Oh, this one's a Christian. Oh, and a Scientologist. At one time that I know of, had a thing for her, and he always hated Jodie Foster. This is funny. Let's play games. You see how they are not regarding, in the very least, 2 human lives. It's as if my life is a joke to them. But I'm a comedian, so I say, I know what a joke is. I know what funny is. Sometimes I cross the line because I think it's a stranger. They don't hear me. They don't see me. What harm am I doing? They're successful in life. And what is the big deal if I say, why don't you cross the yellow line again, dude? And then that's on me, that I look stupid trying to think that they look stupid. But what is if you're derailing me everywhere I go so you can get your movie on and then profit off of it? So I would look into A Place Beyond the Pines, or The Place Beyond the Pines. I always forget if it's an A or a the. But you look into Ben Cochio, because he wanted to expose Schenectady's police department for corruption. Why? They've gotten greedy and corrupt themselves. You have enough material to last 1,000 lifetimes, remember? They're zooming in on my eyes. They just don't care. Or they don't hear. No, there's no reason to zoom in on somebody's eyeballs unless you want to change the eye color. Like, if it was zooming on my face, it might be that I have to adjust something about it. I think it's funny to take something that somebody might have deemed at one time a brutal tyrant and steal all that they ever were either responsible for or all that they were ever caring about, and proceed to kill it. Only I'm a person. And they're using all kinds of militaristic Nazi techniques to do it, and psychological games that the CIA does to people like Gitmo, and they're doing it to me, a resident. And they're all like, oh, you're my assignment, this lady says at the city mission. I'm your assignment? I keep jumping in her face. I'm not your assignment. So these so-called Christians think it is very abnormal to love your enemies. You need to stop loving your enemies. But the city mission won't give me a job either. Not even stuffing envelopes will they give me something to do for the day so I don't have to walk around and look like a problem in the city. So really, in a way, it's almost like you want to interview these homeless men and women and say, did you ever attempt to work? Did you ever attempt to work? Did you ever attempt to work for the city mission? Because did you ever attempt to apply for a job during your time of homelessness? Because, I mean, yeah. And guess what? Frodo Baggins is a very successful man. So maybe as Frotitma Baggins Nomura is going to be a successful woman too. And so's my cousin Johnny Depp, more successful than Amber Heard. And if anybody's a gold digger, it's Amber Heard. I mean, now she's after Elon Musk, and I hear they just broke up. So who's the gold digger? When I'm out here hustling the right way. So there.